Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of Sister Wives, Season 18, Episode 15, One-on-One, Part 1. All right, this is the first of 4 parts of one-on-one interviews with Sukanya Krishnan, the host, and it occurs to me that all the entirety of Season 18 was basically one-on-ones. It was the person in their confessional talking to the producer. There wasn't a lot of interaction between family members, but anyway, here we are. We start off with a season-long flashback. I mean, scenes from throughout season 18, not that the flashback was a season long, although it felt like it. Then we get previews of like the one-on-ones to come, and hats off to the TLC producers because it looks juicy. I don't know how they managed it, but it does. The preview ends with Sukanya and Mary, and Sukanya asks her, isn't it not about him hearing you, but about you being heard? And then Mary, like with a quiet in her voice that is downright terrifying, she said, "Oh, my voice will be heard. I will no longer be silent." Cody, run! Like now. Get a head start. Sukanya just peed in her pants. I mean, it was terrifying. All right, so the show begins. This is not typical for the one-on-ones. We are getting like behind the scenes where everyone's getting ready to come to the studio. It's a little bit of a new thing that they do now. I've seen the Housewives do that a little bit before the reunions. We'll see people backstage and all that. So this is kind of along those lines. We get a super duper close-up of Christine putting on her earrings. And it is so close that you might assume that Janelle is filming it from her phone, but I don't think they're together. Also, I think it's shot so close because TLC wants to make sure that we are noticing all of the piercings all down her ear. It's like 7 earrings in that one ear. That is definitely Christine's fuck you to Cody. Remember, when she joined the family, he found her double piercings to be vulgar. So I don't know what he's going to think when he sees all those earrings. Janelle may have told Cody to f off to his face, but make no mistake about it. This right here, this close-up of her ear, that's Christine saying it to Cody right now. All right, so we see Mary packing and leaving the B&B. Cody is like steaming his shirt. I didn't even know they sold steamers at Cracker Barrel. New item. As everyone's getting ready, they're talking about, they're a little apprehensive and, oh my God, Cody and Robin are driving to the studio separately. Somebody needs to explain this to me because we all know you live together. You've said that you live together. You're not fooling anybody. There's no reason anymore to even pretend that you don't care about her the most. She's your only wife left. How come you're not riding to the studio in the same car as your wife? That's what I want to know. I mean, in reality, it's probably because they have different call times. Maybe, but it's just the way they're portraying this as though everyone's getting ready simultaneously and they're all going to get to the studio at the same time. I don't think they do any interviews together, so they could be getting ready on different days for all I know. All right, so Cody is first, and when he greets Sukanya and they shake hands, he's like, "Are you ready for a new Sister Wives variety show?" So that prompts her to ask everybody, if this were a variety show, what would your theme song be? Christine says, "I can see clearly now the rain has gone." And Janelle said, "I'm feeling We Will Rock You by Queen." But Mary's is best. She goes, all the single ladies? Yeah. That was clever. I mean, for coming up with it on the spot. Cody says, "Losing my religion." And Sukanya said, "Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas." No. I mean, I do love me some R.E.M. I'm just a little surprised Cody does too. So anyway, Suki goes, "That's very telling." And Cody said, "Well, it's not about religion, right? It's about unrequited love." You mean the fact that you don't love them and they love you? You're a jerk. So when he's not working, all he does is think about his family and like how everything went so wrong. He thinks it goes all the way back to the very beginning, how he started the family. This experience required that I have more than one wife. So Mary and I get married, and then Janelle and I get married, and then Christine and I. And because I was so anxious to be living the principle of plural marriage, I wasn't properly vetting the wives for compatibility. Oh, God. Yeah, you know who wasn't properly vetted? You. The wives needed to do a little more due diligence. He said, if you're going to marry for eternity, you should start off being in love. And I just thought I could make up the difference. Yeah, he just figured it would happen eventually. But I never suffered, if you will, in a fit of passion. Not until he met Robin, that is. Yes. Something about that angst and the dry cry really just worked Cody into a fit of passion. Suki asked Janelle about this. Janelle feels like they did fall in love as the years went on. And Suki said, Cody said he fell in love with Robin. Did you have that? And Janelle goes, I think we did. It was a very functional marriage. Okay. Sure. I mean, yes, you had 6 children. I know the marriage was functional, but it doesn't necessarily sound passionate or romantic. She does say it's not fair to compare the marriages side by side because he is not the same person that he was back then. Cody tells Suki that when I met Robin, I sobbed. I started weeping for joy, and that didn't stop for months. Between that and like her constantly sobbing, wow, what a happy couple. They must have been quite the it couple. You see those two over there crying in the corner? I want to be like them. Why can't our marriage be like that? Oh my God. I mean, honestly, it makes me nauseous, and I'm not even married to him. He talks about this clique that he had with her and none of the others. It is disgusting to me that 10 years ago he fell head over heels in love with someone and he didn't have the decency to let the other wives go. Let them move forward with their own lives. I mean, polygamy is so messed up. We all know that. But this other layer of it that is equally disturbing is that it really requires you to never fall in love, right? Because the second you fall in love with someone, you can no longer give of yourself equally to the other wives. You can't. It's impossible. And I think the reason why it worked before Robin got there is because he didn't feel that intense passion of falling in love. He didn't have that with any of them. And so it was fair. It was fair. He had affection for each of them and they worked cohesively as a family. Don't get me wrong. Polygamy is still fucked up and a ridiculously misogynistic concept that will never be okay in my eyes. But I'm just saying it could work that way when nobody is head over heels in love, but that's the only way it can work. And how messed up is that? It requires you to never find the love of your life? Wow, that's sad. And then, of course, what happened was Cody found the love of his life. It just happened. And then it made it, I think, crystal clear to him that, oh, what I'm feeling now, I've never felt with the other 3. And how do you work that into a plural family? I mean, of no fault of Robin's, but that's the moment that the family had to fall apart and did. Suki tells Robin that Cody told her that the reason he fell in love with her is because it was like the first time he was able to be vulnerable. And it was a connection he didn't have with the others. Okay, I mean, I'll call bullshit on that, but whatever. That is what he said. So Robin said, oh, see, I didn't know about that until recently, Suki. He said he wept for joy when he found you. Yeah, for months. Robin, I don't think he told the others that. And Suki goes, no, he didn't, but he told me. And she goes, oh, well, see, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. I tried not to have it be painful for the others. I constantly was suppressing the connection I had with Cody. Well, you're suppressing something. I don't know if it's with the help of medication, but it would definitely seem like you're suppressing any kind of joy. So Christine tells Suki that the moment she knew that Cody had fallen in love with Robin was when he was getting ready for a date with her. He was courting her. Christine was sitting on the end of her bed, and he was getting dressed and getting ready to go out on a date with her, which, think about that for a moment. What a bizarre concept. To watch your husband get ready to go out on a date while you sit on the edge of the bed like, okay, have fun. Ugh, so disgusting. Anyway, she said he was, getting ready, and he's like, I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what I'm feeling or why I'm feeling like this. And Christine went, oh, you love her. You're in love with her. And Cody went like, oh, yeah, I am. I'm in love with her. And Christine said he started to get all giddy, which, you know what? You need to learn a little bit of Robin's suppressing of joy. Because maybe save the giddiness for in the car on the way over. Do you have to be all giddy about being in love with someone in front of your wife? That felt a little insensitive. And to hear Christine say it to Sukanya, she's like, oh God, that hurt. It hurt so bad. Yeah, of course it did. So Cody tells Sukanya that when he met Robin, it was like he had fallen in love for the first time ever, and that changed the dynamic. It wasn't anybody's fault. He just saw it more as a call to put more effort into the other marriages. But then, that became a grind. Yeah, of course it did. Because you fall head over heels, giddy in love with somebody. And now, because you realize you should be feeling that with all your wives, you're forcing that. You're trying to force yourself to have those same feelings that you don't have. You can't force it. You have them or you don't. So of course that felt like a grind because it was an effort and futility. He's like, I'm talking about the struggles of when you don't have the basis of passionate love. Yes, exactly. And also, I really want to kill him right now. He should have been man enough to realize this feels very different and this is not going to be fair to my other wives. I can't pretend I don't feel this way about Robin, and it's not fair. And regardless of your desire to follow the principle of plural marriage, it wasn't going to work for you. And you could have saved 3 women 10 plus years of heartache. Sukanya asks Mary about it. She's like, 3 of Cody's marriages have deteriorated substantially. Do you think he's getting what he wants? This, incredible soul connection with Robin. And she said, yeah. And Mary said, I'm happy that they have that. I think everybody should have that. Yeah, that's the point. He was preventing you and Janelle and Christine from having that, and that was not right. She's like, it's very unfortunate that the rest of the family had to go by the wayside. And then she said, I think he had the capacity to love all of us, but he's not doing that for whatever reason. You're missing the point, Mary. He had the capacity to love the 3 of you because he wasn't in love with any of you. And who knows, maybe a human being does have the capacity to fall madly and passionately in love with more than one person. It's just that he didn't feel that for you guys. And I don't think a human being has the capacity to force that. So that's what went wrong. He knew love for the first time with Robin. Yeah, it's because of me that Cody felt so much passion. Perhaps if the 3 of you would have started taking, lithium. And then Christine says the most cutting thing. She said, I think when he met Robin, I saw what a real marriage could look like. I saw him with his soulmate. And I saw, so he can help out. Just not me. Yeah, And I'm thinking that Christine was the first one to leave because she's the first one that maybe really got it, that really understood and was kind of more in tune. And maybe she was more in tune because Christine is the one that always wanted that romantic love. I used to say to myself when I was watching this show in earlier seasons, Christine, you are lying to yourself, girl, if you think you want to be a sister wife and be in a plural marriage. Because she wanted Cody all the time, and she was jealous all the time. I think this was even prior to Robin, so I don't think plural marriage was ever really the right fit for Christine. So she was more in tune to this desire to have her husband want her, desire her. And then it just became abundantly clear when she saw him desiring Robin. So Sukanya asks Cody about Janelle. Where does your relationship with Janelle stand now? And Cody said, I don't know. Side note, his hair looks a little different here. Don't get me wrong, he has grabbed hold of the curly girl method and he is not letting go. He has found his soulmate in the curly girl method. But I'm wondering if he saw some negative feedback on social media about his little tendril bangs because they are gone. Yeah, he has expertly weaved them back into the other curls. It's a neater look, I suppose. Anyway, he says, I don't know. It's like, hey, why don't we work on reconciliation? But she's not really interested in that. And I say I'm interested in it, but I don't do anything about it. I don't like triangulating. So when I sit down with Janelle, I don't want to be asking about the kids because I don't want to gossip. You're an idiot. Number one, to ask after your children is not gossiping. You know that, right? And number two, if you don't like triangulating, don't ask Janelle about your children. Don't do the triangle. Do a straight line from you to your children. Hey, how are you? What you been up to? How's school? How's work? I miss you. I love you. How about that? You can talk to them directly. You just don't want to, you narcissistic idiot. Cody, here's what's happening. I've spent 2 years watching Christine and Janelle trash talking me without me. And the only reason they trash talk me is because I'm guilty, and I am, actually, yes, I am, of not loving them. And Sukanya immediately picks up on this and she's like, whoa, okay, let's go back to that. You're admitting? Now, side note, guys, Robin isn't here to tell Cody, no. You don't answer Sukanya because you're not in a good headspace right now. Right? He doesn't have the safety net of Robin shutting him down so that he doesn't get himself in a worse place with Americans than he already is. Okay, so I believe that right now, inside his brain, he's thinking, uh-oh, what would Robin do? What would Robin do? What would Robin do? So he stutters and sputters and backpedals. Some complete nonsense is coming out of his mouth right now. Utter nonsense. Oh, no, I'm saying I was angry. And Suki goes, but you are guilty of not loving them enough to work on the relationship. No. I was guilty of not being in love with them. It was a guilt from the beginning. What? Just stop talking. If you're gonna just be spewing these nonsense words, then just sit quietly. Because it's so dumb. But he doesn't sit quietly. He said, I'm married on a premise that was very different than romantic love. I'm at a place where I want romantic love with Janelle, but we've got stuff we need to work out. Yeah, she's not interested in you or your sexy hot bod. And then he said, and Christine was always wanting romantic love with me. Suki's like, okay, let's go back to Janelle. Suki would like us to all talk about the fight before Christmas, when all through the house, you could hear Janelle telling Cody to f*** back off. Oh, she actually wants to watch it again in its entirety with picture-in-picture. Okay, yes, please. I'm here for that. I would love to see the reactions while the scene is playing of the people. Okay, that's a little different. And I'm always happy to watch this scene again because it was the best and, some might say the only thing that happened this season. Yeah, okay, Janelle might be enjoying it as much as we are. It's given her a little bit of a chuckle. Robin, however, she needs to turn away and dry cry. She can't go too long without the dry cry because there's some sort of a quota I'm not sure about, but she is due for one right now. And what better time, because this scene is so upsetting for Robin. Cody's fine. I mean, he doesn't love it, but he's watching it. And as I said before, I think Janelle's actually enjoying it. Christine looks like she wants to laugh, but she knows that would be wrong. And Mary just looks like she's calculating her last LuLaRoe order. I think she's wondering, do I have time to get back to the B&B after this? How late is it going to be? When can I start working again? And so the scene ends, and Suki said to Cody, so I imagine that's just about the worst fight you've ever gotten in with Janelle. Cody, yeah, he's not so sure. And Suki said, you've fought like that before? Cody, I mean, in our 30 years of marriage, yeah, a few times, not many. Now this part, I don't think I understand this part. Although a little bit later, Robin says the same thing. So it's probably just something that they agreed to say together. This sounds like something that's been worked out between the two of them at home before they came. But it doesn't make any sense to me. Cody says he was triggered when Janelle talked about the Christmas tree that she had. The little tree? What triggered him? I'm not sure. That she was bringing it to the B&B, I guess. I don't know. It was dumb. Anyway, he also says, look, I may not have been in love, but I was loving and I was trying to love, okay? No, not okay. Not good enough. A wife deserves to have her husband be in love with her. Period. End of story. But yeah, he wants credit for trying to love them. And also, I would like to say, how hard were you trying to love Mary in the last 10 years? How hard? So now Sukanya is with Janelle, and they have just finished watching The Fight Before Christmas. And Janelle turns and laughs. And Suki asks her, have you ever fought like that before? Janelle, no, never fought like that. Not what Cody said. Janelle says she has some regrets about that fight. She said, I actually went in with some talking points because I knew he was coming over and he was going to be like coming in hot. And so she had these some ideas in her head of things she wanted to talk about. But that when it came down to it, she just kind of shut down and she didn't say everything that she wished she had. She said she wishes she would have said, hey, this isn't working. But it got too emotional. Okay, now this is what I was talking about. This is Robin's version of the fight. Well, when Cody saw the Christmas tree and she said she was taking it to the Airbnb to spend time with Christine and that tree, it really upset him. Okay, hold on. We're talking about that little 3-foot tree that he made fun of, by the way, when he walked in her apartment. Oh, is that your Christmas tree? She did say, well, yeah, I mean, it's small, but it's because I want to pack it up and bring it to the rental for Christmas. But that's what triggered him. Oh, my God. Robin looks like she's going to start crying just talking about this story with Sukanya. Does Cody have like a fetish for sad girls or something? Is that what made him lust after her? She is so mopey and lethargic, and her speech pattern is so quiet and slow. I mean, it is a bizarre personality trait to be attracted to, I think. It's okay, baby. I've got enough passion for both of us. Okay, Cody. So now Cody is saying that he's upset because Janelle never expressed any empathy for him going through a divorce with Christine. And that, in fact, she sided with Christine. And Suki goes, are you jealous that they're talking to each other now? Cody, I'm jealous that they're getting along now and not 25 years ago when they should have been. Them being so close right now, it's just a big F you to Cody. Which is exactly what a narcissist would say, because a narcissist thinks that everything anybody does is about them. Christine just says, well, now he knows what jealousy looks like, and she's laughing. Maybe he's jealous because Janelle and I have such an awesome bond. Maybe he's jealous because we co-parent so well. Or because Janelle can talk to me and I will listen to her. Because we've had our disagreements and stuff, but we've talked them out. So Kanye talks about Cody being upset that Janelle was on vacation with Christine when he had COVID. And Janelle's version of this story, Cody made it sound like, here I am with COVID, and she goes off on vacation with Christine. Janelle's version is that they were already on vacation when he called her to tell her he had COVID. Janelle's like, he was really scaring me on the phone. I mean, to the point, like, I called a doctor and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, should I get oxygen? Like, I really didn't know what to do. And I was going to come home. But Cody said, no, you can't come over anyway. There's nothing you can do. But Janelle says it wasn't even about that. It was that for months after that, he would be like, I almost died. I'm not laughing. God knows. We know so many people that were in the hospital and were intubated and so many people that died from it. I'm laughing because Cody was never even admitted to the hospital. Side note, I do remember the scene when Robin had it and Cody took her to the hospital and they did have her like an oxygen mask on her and stuff. And I vaguely remember Cody asking if he should also be on oxygen or like wondering if he should admit himself, but like he never did. And I'm not even sure if Robin like spent the night or anything. I think they sent her home too. I should check that for sure, but lazy. Anyway, point being, I know there are people that have very bad cases of COVID. I don't think Cody falls into that category. The I almost died thing. But wait, the plot thickens because there is a third account of this story. Because now we have Christine's version. She's telling Suki, yeah, Cody calls her while we're on vacation. And he's like, I need you to get some stuff for me. And I said, no, you're not leaving. We're having fun. And you're going to run home, go buy his stuff, drive to Robin's house, leave it on the porch, and then go back home. You're never going to see him. Did he take care of you when you had COVID? No. You're staying here with me. So, yeah, that's a little bit different than Janelle's version. Side note, is something else different about Cody? It's like I thought it was the lack of tendril bangs, but now that is it that he looks a little puffy maybe? Did he always not have eyebrows? Is that new? There's a lot of face. It's like his face looks too big for his eyes or something. I don't know. This is going to drive me crazy. Anyway, so Kanye asks him, after the fight before Christmas, why didn't you ask Janelle if you could show up at the rental? Just say, I'd like to see the kids. Apparently, Sukanya does not watch the show as carefully as we do because I remember before the fight got real heated, Janelle was saying that the kids had asked her, is Dad coming? And she said, I don't think so. But in my memory, which is not great, I thought she said something to him at her apartment during that fight, like, are you gonna come to the rental? And he said, no, because I have a house. I have a place we could have Christmas. I thought that happened there. Maybe that was just in confessionals. Anyway, So Kanye's asking him now, why didn't you just say, hey, I'm going to show up at the rental because I'd like to see the kids? Cody's answer is, because personally, he's talking about the kids, they're trained to blame Robin. The kids are estranged. Janelle calls Robin a broken dove that Cody has to protect. I mean, that's actually pretty accurate. And Cody goes, from all the assholes? Yes. They have all been absolute assholes to her. I would just like to remind you, these are his kids he's talking about. And from everything that I have ever seen in the 18 seasons that I watched this show, I think those kids are pretty kind and loving. And they miss Robin's kids. They've said it. Did they want Cody to spend more time at their house? Yeah, I'm sure they did. Every kid wants their dad around. Did they wish that you loved their moms as much as you loved Robin? I mean, maybe, probably. But wanting equal time with you does not make them assholes. So Cody says, I just put up with it when they were assholes to me. It's like water off a duck's back. But I'm not going to let them separate me and Robin. Because where I go, she goes. And she's not going to feel welcome with the other kids. And her kids aren't going to want to be around those other kids. Those other kids? You mean your kids? God. You know what? Cody is like, when he divorces the woman, he divorces all his children with her too. In Cody's world, he's got one wife and 5 kids that he cares about. Then he's like, there's a lot of bullying in the family. Well, you know what, Cody? I'm going to need examples because I've never seen it. Certainly, I know that there's a lot of stuff that happens that isn't caught by cameras. I get it. And kids will be kids. Kids fight. Siblings fight. I get all that. But I have also heard those kids say how much they miss Robin's kids. So you tell me why Robin's kids wouldn't want to be around the other kids. So when Suki is with Robin, she asks her, were you invited to Janelle's at Christmas? And Robin goes, no. Suki, would you have gone if you had been invited? And Robin says, yes, yeah, I would. Suki, and you would have brought your kids? Robin, yeah. So Suki goes, you think it would have been a safe place for you and the kids? And Robin said, yes, if she invited us, then yes, I would. You're lying. Sorry. That's a lie. It's a lie to make Janelle look bad. Like if she would have just invited Robin and the kids, they would have come. So mad right now. Does she think that we can't remember just, well, you know what? For them, it was probably over a year ago, so maybe she does think we can't remember. But we just saw it on our TVs. When Mary was contemplating whether or not to invite Janelle and the kids for Christmas Eve at Mary's house, and Robin, you shut that down. That felt scary. It was a little bit scary to do, if we don't have a conversation first. But now, oh yeah, sure. I would have come to the rental with Janelle and her kids and Christine's kids. Sure, if I was invited, but I wasn't invited. I don't believe you anymore. You're lying. And you think we're all going to forget. Suki goes, well, Cody said it wouldn't be safe for you and your kids. And Robin's like, I think just because the boys were blaming me for stuff. Cody, again, we're kind of reiterating stuff that we already said. And the way they're kind of jumping around, I almost wish, well, not really. I was going to say, I almost wish we were devoting a full hour to just the one-on-one with one person. Like the first one would be Cody, the next one would be Janelle, and then like that. Because I feel like the jumping back and forth, we're hearing people, definitely Cody, saying the same thing over and over again. Like now he says again that he and Janelle see so little value in their relationship that they haven't made the steps to repair it. Well, that's just another way of saying what you said earlier about Janelle's not interested in reconciling and I'm not either because I never did anything about it. Meaning like He never called the therapist or anything. Whatever. He's reiterating that. And then he says, Janelle sees more value in her relationship with Christine than she does in her relationship with me. Well, yeah. What do you have to offer her? And then Suki asks Robin, what did you tell Cody about Janelle before the fight before Christmas? And she said, I said, go work it out with her. Go over there. Go talk to her. You guys have how many years together? Suki's like 30. Yeah, 30. And you have 6 kids. Now, in the next couple of minutes here, Robin dabs at her eyes several times and checks her fingers for moisture. More than once. Here she's even touching her eyeball, her actual eyeball, in an attempt to feel some kind of wetness. Now this one here I call the double pinky peekaboo cry-eye maneuver. Side note, loving the David Yurman horse ring that matches Cody's, and what in the hell is on her other hand? I'm sorry, that's not a Claddagh ring. That looks like some new diamond wedding band? And finally, in this one here, we're checking both hands for moisture. She's looking like at least one of these fingers must have evidence of a tear on it. So Robin, of course, is very deeply affected by this fight between Cody and Janelle. She can't understand why they can't work it out. It was one fight. Then we cut to Janelle's interview. She's like, afterward, it was really strange. I remember feeling like this huge weight was lifted off of me. I was sitting in a flat parking lot, and I just felt relieved. Suki, what was the burden? Come on, Suki. You were just talking to him earlier. I think you know what the burden was. But Janelle's answer, I didn't have to keep putting any effort into my relationship with Cody. Wow. That's impactful. So it had been 2 months between the fight before Christmas and the two of them meeting up at Salsa Brava. And, okay, TLC. I was on board with replaying the fight before Christmas because we all should be watching that over and over again. But are we really going to be replaying the scene at Salsa Brava now too? Is this how you're managing to stretch the one-on-ones to 4 parts? Because I don't like that. Is it part of your contract with Salsa Brava? Do they insist on being part of the one-on-ones? Is that what's going on here? Well, we do have the picture-in-picture again, and we see Cody watching as he walks into the restaurant and asks Janelle if she's going to give him a hug. And Cody's commentary, he said, well, that was a high expectation. Yeah, I think it is a high expectation. I don't think you should have even asked her for a hug. And then when we get to that nauseating part at the end, when Janelle said, this went better than I thought, and he goes, well, what did you think would happen? Didn't you think I was going to want to kiss you on the lips and tell you I missed you? When we get to that scene, I can't help thinking about how he just said he was trying to love his other wives. Was that comment part of his trying, Also, they got into a huge fight. They haven't had any contact for 2 months. Janelle's last words to him were, F you. So, no, she didn't think you were going to want to kiss her on the lips and tell her how much you missed her. If you did, you wouldn't have let 2 months go by before speaking to your wife. I do love that. We get to also see the confessional where Cody says, she just wants me for my big pecs and my 6-pack abs. We do get to see Janelle laughing during that. So Sukanya says to Janelle that she noticed how different Cody's sit down at Salsa Brava was with her than his sit down at Salsa Brava with Christine was. Janelle again tells us, yeah, well, our marriage was healthy in every aspect, every sense of the word. You know how earlier she said it was fully functioning. So, I think I'm able to crack that code, Janelle. where it was lacking intimacy in his marriage with Christine, things seem to be A-okay in that department with Janelle. Pretty sure that's what Janelle is saying. So Suki goes, do you like his pecs? And when I tell you that I have never seen Janelle guffaw this hard, she throws her head back. She's laughing so hard. She's like, he loves his pecs so much. But that's not what it's about for me. It's about an emotional connection for me. So now Suki asks Cody about it. You would assume, like any normal person would probably watch that scene and then be just like so embarrassed that they said that. Not Cody. Not Cody. Cody actually says, hey, I got to say something about that. TLC missed something when I made that comment about the great pecs and the six-pack abs. I was saying that because Janelle has always seen me as a physical specimen and never dove into my humanity. Cody. Is he kidding? Are we being punked? Is that what's happening here? Is he in on the joke? Holy crap. What? First of all, what are you clarifying? What did TLC miss? Because you're basically just saying exactly what we already thought from the first time it aired. That you're implying that Janelle only wants you for your body. So what are you saying now that's making that any different or better? I'm a person with feelings, Janelle, not just a piece of meat. Suki's like, so you feel like you were there just as Janelle's like boy toy? Cody, yes, like some pool boy. I think he's serious. Janelle should be so lucky. I mean, at least a pool boy does something else. He actually cleans the pool. How do you help Janelle? You're never even at her house. Oh God, now he literally says, I felt like a piece of meat. And Suki says, how? You have to explain what that means. Now, I'm happy that she asked that question, I really am. But I think we all know what he means, Suki. She goes on to say, I don't know that much about your relationship with Janelle. Like, did you guys just have great sex? And Cody goes, to be continued. That's it, you guys. Oh my God. Part 1 ends on the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers. For Cody and Janelle, was it just about the great sex? I have equal feelings of like, I cannot wait to hear how he answers that, and also never wanting to hear the answer to that. So I'm a little conflicted here, but anyway, that was it for this episode. I hope you liked this recap. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you click on the little bell icon, you will be notified every time I post something new here on my channel. For those of you who are Amazon shoppers, if you go through one of my links in the description box below this video, it will take you to Amazon, and I will get a small credit for any of the shopping that you do on Amazon during that session. So thank you in advance for that. All right, that's it. Part 2 next week. So can't wait. Can't wait to see that. I'm also excited. I don't know if this is going to be part 2 or if it's going to be at the very end of part 4. When Mary threatens us with not remaining silent. Oh, I will be heard. I don't know if it comes then or if it's going to be the biggest cliffhanger ever, but I'm excited for that. So we do have some good stuff coming up, and I hope you guys are here with me for it. But that's all for now. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.